Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, go tank.
Well, Coach, the calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Go.
Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Kelly to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Back to the ground, this time with Tomlinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 40. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, Kelly. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
To throw, Kelly. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Ready. 90, Wolf. Block 54. Switch. Go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This one out quickly to Westbrook. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Switch. Whip.
Watch the guard right there. Good guard right there. Friday. Good touch.
They'll hand this to Campbell, running right. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Showing it. He's checking.
Look for signal.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Here's Campbell. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
After one, a one-point game, 7-6.
14.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Catch made here by Campbell. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
55.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, he lets it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. On first down, Tomlinson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Come on.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And now the throw taken in by Chark. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Mission accomplished on that throw. Slant, pick up the first down. I like how he just put it on the receiver and didn't lead him on that one.
Happened quickly. Defense, not much they could do. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Foxtrot. They're going to need some therapy after this. 56.
Kelly from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Kelly now. Operating from the gun. Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his crew will take on the 5-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Bound to lose one.
To throw again. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
On the ready.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Tomlinson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Well, they picked up the 1st down, but I'm just going to say it. I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot, and it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
Well, it wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this 1st half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Now Kelly. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Kelly. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
37's to Mike. Mike 37. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
Go.
Now Kelly. And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Let's go!
He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Kelly. He's going to air one out. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Tomlinson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
On the Seahawks 36-yard line.
On the double.
Mike 5-4.
Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Kelly. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Gun. Five. Snap.
To throw is Kelly. From the gun, he'll throw. And the return will stop right around the 25. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Watch the safety creep.
Check.
SOS.
They'll run on first down. Campbell, nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Watch the twins. Watch the twins.
At the 25-yard line.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Come on, guys. 4 down.
55. Right.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Now it's Wilson being chased out left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together Charles a nice nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense. But that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose. Do what you do best. Go get the quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Kelly looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Barry. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 48. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
55, Mike, 55.
You ain't got nothing.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
On 2nd and 1, Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Let's go.
Throwing on second down. Kelly steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. The Jaguars on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Keep playing hard.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Drop deep, drop deep.
From the 41, Kelly hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. On first down, Tomlinson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Tomlinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Here's Kelly throwing on 4th down. And he completes it to Westbrook. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game
and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Early on, you hit on it. Needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown.
Yeah, but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Let's go.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. The open man is Westbrook. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Seahawks, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.